Well, hello, friends. I hope you're having a great day today. Welcome to Monday's edition of Take 5. So good to be with you. I'm excited about the Word this week and what I'm going to be sharing. It's kind of a heavy thing, man, that the Lord laid on me to start this year off, the first Sunday of the year off with. But I believe if we will abide by it, I believe if we'll follow it, and in the days and weeks to come, we're going to talk about it some more. I believe it's something that will be valuable to us, and it's something that I think can preserve the future and the integrity of our church as we look down the road. I want to share with you from Psalm 78. I'm going to read 8 verses. I'll read 8 verses. I'll read all 8 of them, and then talk to you just a minute, kind of set the scene where we're going today. He says, "My people, hear my teaching and listen to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth with a parable. I will utter hidden things from old." So he's going to tell things from the past. Things we have heard and known, things our ancestors have told us. We will not hide them from their descendants. We will tell the next generation the praiseworthy deeds of the Lord. Now listen to that. We will not hide it from them. We will tell the next generation the praiseworthy deeds of the Lord, His power, and the wonders He has done. He decreed statutes for Jacob and established the law in Israel, which He commanded our ancestors to teach their children. And they were to teach them, listen to the next verse, so the next generation would know them, even the children yet to be born. So God is intentional about this thing that we're supposed to do in passing faith down from generation to generation. He's even thinking about the children that are yet to be born so that they in turn will tell their children. So that's 2 unknown, unbirthed generations that God is speaking about there. Then they would put their trust in God and would not forget His deeds, but would keep His commands. They would not be like their ancestors, who were a stubborn and rebellious generation, whose hearts were not loyal to God, whose spirits were not faithful to Him. So we're going to be dealing with the subject that we've entitled Next Generation Faith. And that is something that is so important. I don't think we realize that the greatest job that we have as believers in Jesus Christ is to make sure that we pass a heritage of true biblical faith down to the next generation. And you have to start, the Bible says, do it for the generation that has not even been born, and even for the generation past that. You have to start early. You have to start when they're children. As a matter of fact, it probably wouldn't hurt you to start before they're ever born, praying for them that they would be receptive to God and His Word. And so that's our job. That's our responsibility. And every generation, from the oldest that is alive today to the youngest, we have that responsibility to the generation that is following us. Now, one thing about our church, if you'll look around, you'll find that we're kind of unusual. Every church is not like ours. When you look across the congregation there on any given Sunday, you'll see that the people are different. There are folks that are there from all walks of life, from various backgrounds, and even various religious upbringings. You know, at our church, you'll find Free Will Baptist, Southern Baptist, Holiness, Presbyterian, Assembly of God, Church of God, non-denominational, independent, this and that and everything else. You'll find it there. And you find this various generations there as well. I think that's probably the most notable thing, especially when you compare it to other churches in our community, is when you look at a cross-section of the generations in our church, it's vast. On any given Sunday in our sanctuary, you'll find 3 or 4, sometimes 5 generations of people that are there, all in the same place and all supposedly focused on the same thing. And there are a lot of other places in our vicinity where you can't find that type of mixture. We have a great thing there. And that's what makes churches like ours special and important, because we are an intergenerational fellowship, and that means that individuals from across generations come together and meet together to worship and to learn and to serve. All of this, we do it together. Now, we obviously, if you've been at our church, we've got programs especially designed for kids and youth, and even other activities for adults only, but we do the best that we can to try to keep a balance there. And this mix of generations, it is such an important ingredient in healthy church and healthy families. It's a value that we should work very hard to cherish and to preserve. And in order to do that, each passing generation, when it comes their time to pass, they have got to see the importance of the next generation. And really, you need to look 2 and 3 generations beyond that and see the importance of all of that. According to what we read, each of us has a responsibility to the next generation that's following. So it's up to us to make sure that they know about God's power to provide and to heal and deliver and to save and do all the wonders that He does. It's up to us to set an example of godly values and morals before them. It's up to us to teach them God's ways and God's laws and His commands. It's up to us to teach them that the church has a real purpose and a real divine mission, and we are not just some religious historical museum that we're trying to keep open for the public to remember what used to be. That is not what we're to do. Our responsibility is to pass a living faith, a working faith, a real biblical faith to each and every generation. That's our responsibility. So we got to say this: if the next generation doesn't know about God, let it be because they chose to ignore Him, and not because we didn't do our part in revealing Him by our actions and words. Don't let it be because we didn't do our part to influence them more than the world. And please don't let it be that we were more concerned about our generation than we were the ones to come. This subject of next generational faith, it's going to challenge us. It's going to change. Hey, if you're not careful, it will offend you if you're not careful. But it is the absolute truth, and it is what God has designed for you and I to make sure that the church is here throughout perpetual generations and that it continues to flourish until Jesus comes and raptures us away. Hey, it's been good being with you today. I look forward to being with you tomorrow on Tuesday's edition of Take 5. Till then, God bless you. Have a great day. Hey, trust the Lord, my friend. He will never fail you.